Hey, my lovely, beautiful people. Hello. What it do? Oh my goodness. We are back. It is 2025. Can you imagine? The last time I saw you, it was 2024. Oh my goodness. Like we made it to a new year. That for me is a big deal. So first of all, let's cheers to that, okay? Now, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on Spotify podcasts, I need you to grab anything, pretty much anything, okay? Water, wine, juice, anything that you have in that fridge, you need to grab that because we made it to 2025. And cheers to 2025. I am happy to have you here in 2025. You're welcome back to another episode of the Bed with Ben Hiney podcast. If you're listening or watching, I just want to say that you're welcome. My name is Akusia Ben Hiney. I share these episodes with you every week. On here, what I do is basically talking about shared experiences, okay? I'm a millennial woman. I'm growing. I'm trying to become a better version of myself every single day. And while I'm doing that, I am doing it with you guys. So it's always a beautiful time to catch up, to sit down and talk and just share an experience that I've gone through with you guys, because I know that there's nothing better than hearing from someone who's been through something, okay? There's nothing better than that. So again, you're welcome. Happy New Year. Big hugs, okay? Now, I know that as we've stepped into this new year, pretty much every time when we step into a new year, the one thing that we all think about is how can I be a better version of myself? It's new year, there has got to be some sort of new me. You know what I'm saying? People are setting goals. I mean, we're all setting goals, making all these plans on how we can achieve them. But how many times have we given up on our goals by February? Like, be honest with yourself. Just comment below and let me know. I have been there before. I feel you, sis. Like, we have goals that we have set, all these giant goals that we just gave up on by February, by March. We're like, okay, I gotta set some new goals. Okay, what's happening? And I can relate because sometimes January by itself can be very confusing. Okay, that's a whole nother point that we can talk about another time. But what I do want to talk about is how we can set achievable goals for 2025. Because if there's one thing that 2024 taught me, it was how to set achievable goals, goals that you can actually reach. I think that that's what a lot of us are missing. Okay, we're just very quick to set goals. We're very quick to write down all these things that we want to achieve, but we never really think deep into it. Like we never really think as to the house and how to go about it and the hard times that might come along the way. We never really put so much thought into it. But I guess that's also one thing that comes with growing and aging in general. I feel like the older you get, the more deeper you think about things. But I've come to realize that not everybody does that. So I say it every time. So yeah, not everybody does that. But again, in today's episode, which is going to be season 2, episode 1, I do want to say that we're going to be talking about how to set achievable goals for 2025, how to actually reach your goals, okay? So you would see that you've reached some goals on that calendar, on that goal tracker, whatever it is that you have your goals set on. By the end of the year, you would see that you've actually reached some of these goals. So today what I want to do is share some practical, just generally practical and realistic tips on how you can reach your goals, okay? How you can set achievable goals and how to reach them. Now, let me start off by talking about having goals, okay? Because it is very important. If you don't already have any goals and you just enter the new year with no vibes, nothing written down, no plan, literally nothing, that's a problem. We need to work on that, okay? Now, the very first thing that I can say is you need to be clear. You need to be clear on what exactly you want your life to look like, okay? What is it exactly you're looking for at this particular time in your life? And that's what I'm talking about. When I say be clear about what you want, it's not just be clear about what you want in general, because we all want something, okay? We all want 1,000,001 things, but do you really, really want them right now? Do you really, really need them right now? Is that something that you know that is achievable for you in this like here and now? You know what I'm saying? Because these are goals that you're going to track at the end of the year. These are goals that you want to look back at and say that, okay, I did that, and that's how you're going to be able to move forward. So you need to start off by being very clear about your goals. What is it exactly that you feel like you need at this time in your life? So it could be buying a new home, getting a new car, moving to a new city. And this is something that I've said a lot in the past, okay? You need to set goals that you know for a fact that is going to move you to the next step. And when I say the next step, take it as like a ladder, okay? So you're trying to save $20,000. And you know for a fact that at this point in your life, you could never save $20,000 because the job that you do, your bills, yada yada, will never let you get to that stage. So how about you start from saving $5,000 and then move to saving $10,000, and then you're going to move to saving 15, and then you're going to move to saving 20. That's what I mean when I say set the goals in that order. If there's one very big goal that you want to achieve, break it down into little goals, and then that's how you're going to get clarity. That's how you're going to get there even faster, because now you have a vivid plan of how to get there. You have a vivid plan of things that is required of you to get to this big stairs, or this big goal that you're trying to achieve. So that's what I'm talking about. Be very clear on pairing your goals to the now and seeing how that can move you to the next stage, okay? And then now, talking about being very clear on the type of goals that you want to achieve, the next thing that I'm going to say is you want to focus on one or two big goals at a time. And that's what I was saying about previous me. Previous me will put down 1,000,001 goals, 1,000,001 big goals that I knew for a fact that in 1 year, there's no way I could achieve all of that. But then I had written down all these things, and I know I'm not alone. I know this is something that we all do. So what I want to tell you is you want to focus on one or two big goals at a time. It's easier when you're able to focus on one thing, break it down, set different goals on how to reach that one thing, than having 1,000,001 things and not knowing how to even reach one. That's just going to keep you worked up for no reason. So what you want to do is focusing on one or two key goals, making sure that you're breaking them down in practical ways that you can achieve them, and then trying to achieve them and moving on to the next step, adding, a few more goals onto the list. Trust me, it works, okay? It does. It absolutely does. I focused on wanting to get a car. The whole of 2024, I focused on wanting to get a car, okay? And I know maybe for someone, getting a car might not be a big deal, but for the whole of 2024 for me, I needed to have my own means of transportation. I had done way too much Ubering around, and as much as I like the whole idea of having someone drive me around, I knew for a fact that I needed my own car. I knew for a fact that that was the only way I could save some money while still being very efficient, being able to move around by myself and whatnot. So that was my one big goal for 2024. And I knew that in a year, that was a goal that I could achieve. So I didn't add anything else onto my list. I didn't add moving out to a new place. I didn't add anything, literally anything. And I said to myself that I did want to have that car by my birthday. You know what I did? By my birthday, I had my car. Literally. I mean, I didn't have it exactly on the day of my birthday. A few days after my birthday, I had my car sitting in my driveway, feeling nice and cute. I had my car. And that's what I'm talking about. When I say focusing on one or two key goals at a time, that's what I mean. You want to put your eye on one prize at a time, okay? Because all we pray for is life, because as long as you have life, you can achieve all these goals. You can achieve all these goals. Time is running out is what it looks like to you, but time is really not running out. You can achieve all your goals no matter what age you are. So, hey, make a priority list of all your goals, all the things that you see yourself achieving in the next few years. Write all of them down and then prioritize these things. What do you feel like needs to be up the hierarchy, and what do you feel like needs to be down? What do you feel like you need to achieve in the next few years, and what do you feel like you need to give yourself time and room to actually build and grow into? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about, okay? And then the next thing that I'm going to say is you need to be able to have a system in place to reach these goals, okay? It's one thing to write your goals down. It's one thing to be yippy and yappy and happy about having all these goals down. But there's another thing with creating a system in place that's going to actually help you achieve these goals, because that's what I was talking about in the beginning. Sometimes we're so happy to just write down the actual goal. I feel like the picture or the idea of the goal makes us happy. It makes you, oh, I could be like that. Okay, yeah. That makes you happy, but do you think about how to get there? That's what I'm talking about. So you need to create a system and a routine in place that's going to help you get to these goals, okay? And when I say creating a system in place, I would use myself as an example, okay? I'm a mom. I have a 9 to 5 job. I have a content creation side job that I do. And so my system in place allows me to be a family person, work a 9 to 5 job, and still chase my passion. And it took me a while to get there, but I had to find the balance between all these things because these are all things that I love doing. I didn't want to give up any of these things. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to give up content creation just to be a mom. And there's no way I would not focus on my family while being a social media girly. I don't think I want to do that. So I had to find the balance. So you need to be able to find a balance and create a system in place. It could be you habit stacking. It could be, putting away 30 minutes in your day to be able to work on some passion that you have. You need to be able to have a system in place that allows you to chase that goal that you have set, because it can't just be a goal written on paper while you're chasing other stuff. It will never be achieved. So you need to have a system in place that allows you to chase that goal as well. And then the next tip that I'm going to give you is tracking your progress. Okay. Now, I do want to say this very lightly because tracking your progress can also sometimes very much feel like putting pressure on yourself. And that's not what I'm talking about. Just tracking your process in a way that makes you see how you're doing with the goals. Besides the fact that it puts pressure on you, it also kind of makes you see that, are you doing something or not? Like it gives you a visual of how you're doing with that goal that you set for yourself. And if you haven't done anything so far towards that goal, it pushes you, and I hope it pushes you in the right direction, not in a way that makes you feel pressured or in a way that makes you feel like you should compare yourself to people. Okay. And that's why I talk about practical goals and finding practical ways to actually reach them. You need to be able to have goals that you know for a fact that are not so far away from your reach, so that when you're putting them in your daily habits or trying to create a routine for your lifestyle, it's not so far away. It's not so far-fetched, okay? For example, if it's a fitness goal that you have, if you're looking to lose some weight, build some muscle, whatnot, you can have a habit tracker that allows you to track that fitness goal, a habit tracker that allows you to see your progress, putting in, recording your weight every now and then to see the difference from when you started and how you or where you've gotten to so far. So that's kind of like what I mean. Find a way to track that goal, find a way to keep up with the progress so that you're looking at the statistics, analytics, whatever it is, you're looking at, everything that you've done so far. And if you haven't done anything, that sort of pushes you to do better. Okay. And then now the next thing I'm going to say, which I'm kind of very particular about, is you staying flexible. Okay. You need to give yourself grace. You need to stay flexible and know that life is life and life could happen sometimes. Okay. Life can happen sometimes that in a way that doesn't go with the plans that you have set or the goals that you have set for yourself. And that's okay. We talked about this before. Okay. Being comfortable with life not being perfect every time. You need to put that in your plans, okay? You need to lock that in because that can sometimes happen. There can sometimes be a case where you might not be able to achieve these goals. You might not be in the right place to exactly chase goals or try to achieve goals. You might just have to be chasing life at the time, and that's okay. It's not a thing of time. It's not a thing of who gets there first. It's a thing of, how you're going to get there, and it's all about you. It really isn't about anybody else. It's not a competition, is what I'm trying to say. So think about it from that angle and try to stay flexible. Try to give yourself room, try to give yourself space to know that anything could happen, even though we're never hoping for the bad to happen. We're always hoping for the good, especially in 2025 and beyond. We're hoping for nothing but amazing things, but also you need to stay flexible because you don't really know what's always going to happen in life, okay? So keep that in mind. And then while you're staying flexible, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is you surrounding yourself with the right people, okay? Because that's also one thing that I learned in 2024. Building really healthy relationships, just having really good people around you. People that not only support in your goals, but also just believe in you in general to be good, to do well, to, look fly. Like people who are just your cheerleaders at every corner. You need that. And 2024 taught me that, okay? 2023 me was so much in the face of looking for friends, trying to find friends and trying to find people because I felt like I didn't really have people. But sometimes what you have is right around you, but you don't even realize because you're so busy looking outside. And 2024 taught me that. 2024 taught me that I had people around me. I had supportive people around me. I had people that loved me. I had people that were ready to cheer me on, and I just wasn't looking at that. And so if I learned anything in 2024, it would be having the right people in your corner, having the right people that you can reach out to as and when you need to pour your heart out to someone. Just having the right people who can cheer you up and make you know that you can achieve these goals that you've set for yourself. The goals are not so bigger than you. People who are not going to make you feel like you're delulu every single time when you're trying to look at these goals and when you're trying to do something that they're not comfortable with. I need you to really, really deep that, okay? You just need to have the right people in your corner. You just need to have supportive people who can push you when you're not ready to push yourself. That's another thing that I need to say. You need to have people who will push you when you are not even ready to push yourself. And that's very hard to find, especially in this modern day and age, because it's not even people's fault. Life is just too much. Like, life is just lifing. Like, people just have a lot on their plates. And I'm always going to say this, if you have that, be so grateful for it. People who go out of their way to see when something is even bothering you, to see when you're going down. People who know that this is not my friend, this is not my sister, this is not my person. And so let me check out for this person. Let me just check in on this person because I see that she's falling on her goals. Like, the goals that she set for herself, she's not really doing it. So let me just check in on her sister and make sure that she's still in tune with the goals, because this person wants to grow as much as you are growing. This person wants to achieve things as much as you want to achieve things too. And that's what I'm talking about. And again, if you have these people in your corner, people who are calling you out, not in like a bad way, but in a way that's like they're looking out for you, be grateful for that, because people like that are very hard to come by. And 2024 taught me that I had people like that. Okay, 2024 taught me that I have people in my corner who want to see me grow, who want to see me become a good or a better version of myself, and I'm gonna be grateful for that. Surround yourself with good quality people that you can create lasting memories with. And then my last but not the least point, I'm gonna say that you want to be consistent with the goals that you set for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this, because this is something that I told myself a lot last year. You need to be able to give yourself the chance to trust yourself. You need to give yourself the chance to trust yourself enough to know that you will achieve the goals that you set for yourself. Not just achieve the goals that you set for yourself, but the way you rely on people to do things for you. You need to be able to trust yourself enough to know that you come through for you when you say that you will do something for you. And I know that that's kind of like long-winded, but what I'm trying to say is, if you set goals for yourself and you've been setting these goals for years and years on end and never achieving these goals, that is you just disappointing yourself. It's just like someone saying that they will do something for you and not coming through, or someone saying they will show up in a way for you that they didn't show up and you getting angry at them. Why are you not getting angry at yourself for not showing up for yourself? You know what I'm saying? So you need to be consistent with the goals that you set for yourself. These recurring goals that you keep carrying years on, you need to find a way to actually reach them. And consistency is the only way that you can reach your goals. Doing daily practices, doing daily habits, doing daily things that can push you to get to the next step. That's what I mean when I say consistency. What can you do every day that can push you closer to that goal? That's what I'm talking about, okay? So ask yourself that question. That's a little exercise that I'm going to give you for this episode. I want you to ask yourself, or just quickly write it down, what goals you have, whatever goals you have, one big goal, just take one key goal and ask yourself, what can I do in my everyday life that can help me reach this goal? How can I put something, just any little thing in my everyday life that can help me reach this goal? It doesn't matter if it's 30 minutes, it doesn't matter if it's an hour, it doesn't matter how many minutes you dedicate to the goal. Just ask yourself, what can you do in your everyday life that can help you reach that goal. That's my little exercise for you, okay? And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is having a vision board, okay? Or just having some visual of your goal. It could be just writing them down and pasting them on a wall in your bedroom, in your office, anywhere, okay? But you need to have something that reminds you of your goal daily. You need to be able to see the goals that you've set for yourself and see how you can actually achieve them. And you also need to be able to give yourself some words of affirmation, my love. You need to give yourself some words of affirmation when the days are going tough or when you're not exactly reaching these goals, or just generally when you see the goals that you've set for yourself. Every time that you see the goal that you set for yourself, you need to be able to say some good words into that goal, say some good words onto your life, because our mouth holds so much energy. Whatever you say onto yourself, or whatever you say, or whatever you think in general, affects your life. It affects what your outcome is. So you want to be able to give yourself some words of affirmation. Say something nice to yourself that pushes you, like be your own cheerleader is what I'm talking about, because nobody's going to do that for you, okay? If you don't do that for yourself, nobody's going to do that for you. You need to be able to cheer yourself on as and when you need to, and you need to also have a visual of this goal that you have for yourself. This is going to remind you of why you're doing what you're doing, why you started. It's just going to give you that push that you need to achieve that goal. And yeah, again, it is a new year. Every new year comes with new vibes, new energy, just that new feeling to want to be better and just want to achieve new things. And I'm hoping that this episode is finding you at the right time. Be flexible, okay? Set that goal for yourself. Let the goal be practical. Let it affect the now. Make sure that the goal is something that you need in the here and now. I'm going to say that, okay? Ask yourself what you can do in your everyday life that can help you achieve the goal, and trust me, you will be amazing by the end of the year. I hope that you have an amazing 2025. I am so happy to be able to do this here with you guys again. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.